We're going to go to the X, and we are going to go to the spaces, wherever they are. Here we go. This is some spaces from Wendy.
I don't know if you can see it.
And Chavez.
You let me know if you can see it.
I can't see what she's talking about.
What's up?
Hey.
What's up, girl?
Hi, Wendy.
That's Sean, and obviously that's Wendy.
Hold on. Can you? Okay, hold on.
Let me know if you can hear her.
No, hello.
Let me say hello to Dashi.
Uh-oh.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay. Hello.
Uh-oh. What's up, Bill Gardner? First
How are
like.
you guys?
Smarty Pants.
Amazing.
Let's go, Smarty Pants. Let's go.
Oh my god, I don't. Do I have a delay?
No, you're good.
Sorry, I was eating peanut butter. Hi, Trainer Chapo.
What did you say?
Oh, I was eating peanut butter. Like, I was going to answer, but my mouth was filled with, so I...
Okay. All right, guys.
Bill Gardner?
Sean, sorry, you asked me something and my ADHD distracted me.
Thanks,
What did you
Alfred.
I
Who farted?
was just saying, are you all rested and caught up from the other weekend?
Joe, I can't get over it yet. I was like, what the fuck just happened about everything?
Wendy, your language is
honestly,
offensive.
it was such a great decision attending the event. It was a very nice time, to be honest, and I'm very happy. So yes, it was awesome.
She sounds
and you,
surprised.
Wendy, are you there, guys?
Yep, currently there. I'm pretty well rested. I decided to get back into shape, so I've been on a diet the last couple of days, and I'm feeling pretty good. Already lost 4 pounds.
Nice.
That means he has fun a lot. Now he regrets.
Big regret. I needed to go and I don't know. I just drank so much. I was so fat. I looked disgusting in pictures. So I was like, okay, which is what I needed. I needed to go and get back in shape. So I've had 4 workouts in 3 days, and I'm feeling good.
Nice.
Yeah, so buddy.
He's getting ready for the next party, I see. And you, Sean? Are you in diet as well?
I mean, I did keto during the pandemic, and I've always kind of just stuck to that diet. Not when I go out, though, like on Comic-Con events. But I'm super good carb conscious, like I always eat low carb tortillas and stuff like that. So.
Good for him. Right.
All right, so everyone so everyone is ready to start this conversation. So yesterday we had like a small chill talk with Randy and Mark, and I just wanted to stick to this one, and I just wanted to ask you guys, are you ready? So I know that I invited others one, but let's see if they join later on.
Am I ready for what?
So, but are you ready, guys?
Am I ready for what? What am I ready for?
I'm asking questions because you were yesterday there, so maybe this is gonna be a little bit repetitive. But those that were not yesterday, we are gonna do some NYC Comic Con recap about the Veve party on Thursday and the Gold Logo party on Friday.
Hey, sleeping hat.
Yesterday, we're gonna have that conversation. So here is Sean, who wasn't yesterday. What about if we start with you? I saw the full team of Comics and Crypto.
Bill Gardner bought his first graded N64 game. Thank you so much for the super chat.
How do you feel the event?
8.0 Command and Conquer. Impressive, Bill Gardner.
How did it went for you?
Very impressive.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was just really fun to get all these different types of people under one roof in one event. We saw a lot of people in the community there. We saw a lot of licensors. There were a lot of artists there. Like Ron English was there. It's a lot of fun. And the real events.
Planet Prophet's favorite game.
David put on quite a show. He brought in people from Japan and did this incredible Ultraman show on stage. The screen. And a combination of these incredible looking costumes.
There might be.
It was very impressive. It really, everyone's mouth
in the future for the blue and white logo, but not right now.
I think they released a video on their Twitter account.
There will be from a civilian, but
So,
It's going to be later.
speaking of that, did you go for the Funko drop today?
I did. Yeah, I ended up getting 2 of them.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you, Randy?
Yeah, I had a weird issue the first time. It wouldn't let me buy 2. It would only let me buy 1. So I bought 1 and then I X back out. Then I bought another one. And then, it was sold out. So like, okay, cool. And then even Alex said like, rebound time, go get it. It's like, okay. So I got another 2 at another address for another person. And so I got 4, but 3 out of those 4 I had sold, and just people that are out of the, that weren't able to get it. So I got it for them. And I might keep one. I might sell the other one. I'm not sure. I'll keep you posted.
Nice.
Do you see here, guys? I have pinned 1. Someone bought 11 of them.
Even artists need to add utility one.
Did
I
you
would
see
love
here?
it if artists would do that.
Oh, wow.
This is BB fan
Oh,
page.
Bill Gardner getting his favorite game.
What were you going to say? Sorry.
That's incredible. Yeah, apparently they originally said it's
Little
sold
cough,
out
but all is well,
minutes.
Vicente.
And then I think they're more available. I'm presuming what happened
Get
is
it,
that
man,
people
bro.
put them in their cart, and they counted for those as sales, and then they probably
That's so
end up
cool,
not buying
Bill.
them, and then they're back. But I'm curious how many are actually left.
Good to meet you, Robo. Robel.
So they are not sold out because I don't have one, but I can't get one because I live a little bit far.
Yeah,
Right,
you would
right,
need
right.
another address, or an address in the U.S. or like a P.O. box or something.
Yeah, so I'm
All
curious how
with
many are
the
actually
product.
left. We'll definitely see over in the next few days how it turns out, if they end up selling out or not.
Interesting. So, do explain to those that are not that active in the community, or that maybe just didn't see this drop. What is this Funko drop that was announced into the first BB party? So explain a little bit more for those that are new. Maybe they are not, but you never know who is listening to this. So you guys can explain what is this excitement about this Funko drop with BB and Marvel.
Funko.
So can you guys go into that?
Yeah,
And
Randy,
the importance of that.
you want to take it, Randy?
Yeah, sure. So this is kind of the first of its kind, like a 3-way between Marvel, Veve, and Funko. And the way they're doing it is they have 3,000 of these of the physical ones, and there's one main one, with 1,500 editions, and there's 4 different variants. So you do have a 1 in 2 chance of getting one of those variants, and one of those variants happens to be a 1 of 50. So if you get that, that's I'm going to say like $1,000, just for the digital, not including what the physical is going to be. And so it's kind of a chase. It is a blind box. So what's really interesting is that they're only allowing it from people from the U.S. So out of the $450,000 it would take in order for these to sell out, I would say we sold about half of them. Give it about a couple 100,000. Because once they're low in stock, once they have like maybe 10% of them left, it'll say low in stock. And then, they announced it they announced it a while ago, but they had a physical giveaway at the event in New York Comic Con, the Veve party, and the guy that got it is selling it currently on eBay, and it has a bid. It's the second rarest one, and it has a bid already of $202, and it does not come with a code. So people are willing to pay $200 plus for the second rarity, and it does not come with a Veve code. So if that came with the Veve code, if you wanted to resell it, I would say that could be probably like $300 to $500, and there's a couple days left on that auction. So that's
That's a great intel, Randy. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I didn't know that happened actually. And I was there. Probably outside. But that's awesome, dude. That's great intel. We're definitely gonna keep an eye on that auction. That's awesome.
So the question is, how much was the retail?
150.
Retail was 150. Yeah, 150. What's really cool too is that each Funko physical comes with a redemption card that you can redeem for a digital counterpart of that exact same variant. So if you get the 1 of 50 physical, then you get the 1 of 50 digital as well. And what's really cool too is that they're not holding back any of the mints. So people can get a number 1 mint number on Veve, which is the first time I think ever that's going to starting to lose their minds over that. I don't think really a lot of people know about that.
Wow, that is incredible. And I just want to take a moment to do a big shout out to Binance Latin America. That you see them down below. I was with them in the Cordillera event in Colombia. So big shout out to the Binance Latam team.
Big shout out to
Thank you so much for joining us. And this is exciting, guys. You see how we can bring together different communities and brands, and this is actually very awesome.
Comic on eBay.
And I wanted to ask you guys about exactly.
Send me the link for that, Bill.
Do you think that the people that are into these digital collectibles or that they just buy the Funko one well, I mean, they come from Veve community?
Binance is here?
What is your opinion about that?
Binance is here.
Well, I think it's a combination of the two. I mean,
337,000 followers. Binance is listening in.
So they're definitely looking to get the Funko community involved, but I think it's probably a combination of both. It is unfortunate that it's only shipped in the U.S. because I do think it's probably would sell out if they were international. Especially with the
I can't send them a heart.
Around the world that would want these, but yeah, I think it's a combination of the two, and it's such a great way to introduce new collectors, digital collectors into the space. Because you get a physical, you're paying for the physical, and on top of that, you get a digital one too. Now, I would be surprised. A lot of people are like, whatever, they just toss out the card.
I'll screenshot this.
You probably get some people that are interested, and they'll understand once they redeem it and see the value of this. And I would be surprised if some of the digitals are probably worth more than the physicals. I mean, who knows at this point? It's hard to speculate, but anything's possible. But I do think that the limited 50 variant, especially like the number 1 mint, I can only imagine what that would sell for.
Yeah. There's a little bit of a difference between the variants and the normal common one where Iron Man's wearing the Mach 2 armor, his classic gold and silver. That one, there were 3,000 digitals minted, and they are burning half of them to keep it, 1-to-1 with the physical. But that being said, they're not burning numbers 1501 to 3,000. They are burning random ones. So it is technically possible that they burn some low mint ones. So instead of getting, let's say, mint number 1, 2, whatever, you might get mint number 2,987. So that's the only thing that might screw up that particular one. But the rest, again, it should be 1 of 50. It won't match. I think Alex said he wasn't sure that there'll be mint numbers on the actual boxes. So you won't match your mint number because they just won't have it. But still, the chance of getting any of the super low mints are crazy.
Randy, you said that you are gonna try to sell some of them and hold the rest.
Well,
I understood well.
What the gold and silver logo people did is that they said, hey, any gold and silver logo holders that are not in America that want one, we'll go and we'll help you guys out. So I wound up getting 4, and 3 of them are sold to those people. One of them is actually Candy. What's up, Candy Bevan? And so I do have 1 left, and I may or may not sell it. I don't want to open it because it's a blind box, so you don't know what you get. And if I open it, it's I don't know. I'll keep you all posted on what I want to do.
Yeah, it's such a tough thing. Randy and I were actually talking about that earlier today. It's tough because apparently the redemption cards are redeemable up to like 6 months.
6 months.
So if you want to redeem the digital, you have to open the box up. But I will say, for these specific types of collectibles, you can't see what's inside unless you open it. For most Funkos, pretty much all Funkos, you can see the collectible in the box. So most people don't open them and display them. They keep them inside the box. So I'm curious, how these are going to do over time. But it's kind of tough because we know the value of some of these collectibles, especially like the low edition collectibles, and especially if you have an opportunity to potentially get like a number 1. That's pretty wild, especially for the first time. I think people are going to be very excited about that.
I want to introduce to Sanjay. Good night, Sanjay. How are you today in this lovely day?
Hi, Bay. I call him Bay in my raspy voice.
Is he listening?
Thank you, Bill Gardner.
Sanjay. Oh no.
It's crazy.
Sanjay.
Should try to collect. They will. People will collect all of them.
I don't know how to say así quede in English, but así quede.
Azuka.
Okay, well, in the meantime, guys,
Azuka means sugar.
beside of the Funko drop,
Wasn't
we
it?
saw a lot of well-known
18 inches.
artists, but also celebrities and executives and everything about that. So for those that were not yesterday, can you guys let community know which people did you meet? If there was like a fun story or something that you can tell to those that were
Hi,
not
Stephen
yesterday
Duarte.
here. I don't know who want to start.
For the Thursday party or the
For the
Friday
BB party.
Okay, we're going over
Party,
the parties now.
BB
The
party.
parties were
Thursday.
great.
Let's start with Thursday.
How many of
Well, it
these
was
did I
super
eat?
fun seeing
14
other representatives from the companies come to the party. So
I definitely had two
I had a
servings.
chance to see Andrew Ward there and Matt Mason. So Andrew Ward of Candy Digital and Matt Callis, and then Matt Mason. They're awesome guys. Such awesome guys, and they had a great time talking to everyone in the community because really there's a lot of people who are mixed, right? There's a lot of people who have Veve collectibles and they have Bat Cows, and it was just really fun to bring both of them together and just kind of all of us under one roof have a good time. It was really awesome.
I'm good, happy, all right.
Randy?
There was a lot of there was a lot of fun pictures and videos taken. There was a lot of I think I'm gonna quote Headmaster Ozpin from Ruby, where he says, "Time has a way of testing one's bonds, but nights like those are a way to bring those bonds together." And nights like those are the ones we'll remember for the for the rest of our lives. Thank you for pinning that. Yeah, I have no idea where that. Clearly, I'm having a good time. I have no idea who took that photo. I'll show the people on stream what it is.
So this is like okay. So I saw this picture, I think from a troll or something, but then I love how you embrace it. You know, like we don't look always good on pictures, and it just shows how fun it was. The party, you know, like you were just having so much fun, and there was so many community, many new people that I have never seen in real life. I think I saw how did you say Will I saw I am Pokemon or something like that.
When Pokemon.
And it's so fun to see that many people that you have seen them for years now, they were there and they were actually knew who you were, even though that I haven't been active in
taxes,
in this community in particular. But I was surprised. I thought that no one that I was just going to know my friends. But for you guys, how was the experience to know your fan base and your BB fans and the BB fam? How was this experience for you guys? I would like to know that.
Hey, Wendy, before you these guys answer, try making a guest list for a Web3 party, okay? Everybody has a Twitter handle, which is different from their Twitter name, which is different than their real name, which is different than their Telegram name. And each one gives you different things in different channels.
She looks great. Wendy always looks great.
You make that guest list of 200 people, and then you're like, oh my God, who is this guy? And then you also don't want to call the wrong person the wrong thing. You know what I mean? You don't want to dox anybody and shit.
You know what? This is funny. This is funny because some people has, I don't know, like a frog or like a cow or like a bad cow. And they're like, hey, I am, I don't know, Panchito.
Did look real.
Do you remember
the power
me?
of AI.
What? And he's like, okay, and they show you like the PFP, and you're like, oh, you are Panchito. Well, you don't look like a frog, you know. So we need like an strategy to know who they are, because that's very challenging, you know.
Yeah, we need name tags next time for sure. In fact, we'll get a.
I would love
maybe tags. That's the gift next time. You know, maybe gold logo. You know, gift tag, name tag. So it's like a nice name tag which you can put with a magnetic thing, and you can wear event after event. You know what I mean?
I would definitely love name tags. That would help.
Yeah, that would be good, man. We'll get some good ones. That'll be like the thing to get people. Actually, it should be
the digital ones. Have you seen those? That are like tags that are digital.
bad idea. Not a bad idea.
I have to say, Sanjay, you organized a wonderful event. That was such a blast. Like, really, man, it was so much fun. Thank you for putting all that together.
Yeah, we love this.
Oh, thank you. It's fun, man. It's my third event now, right? You think I
Yeah.
figured it out?
Sanjay is very good at these. He's very good at these
Yeah,
events.
it was so great because I had a chance to bring a couple of content creators in the physical comic community and also some consigners for some really big auctions.
Somebody, right?
Reggie Collects came. Yeah, that was amazing. Steele? Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah,
and a couple of wonderful consigners over at some auction houses, and
There's a couple
it
other
was really
Reggies,
cool too
right?
because they're still kind of new to the digital stuff. We've had on the podcast a couple of times, like Ash from Golden Auctions. He's the head of
I met
strategy.
I met the Golden Bee.
Yeah,
sure.
Awesome. Good. Yeah, they're fantastic. And it was just fun to get them there in person to talk to the community because once they came there and started talking to people about it, they're like, okay, we need to buy Omi. Yeah.
All these guys, man. You want to come into the party, you got to have a Veve account. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's the thing too. It's like they're open to it, but they're not really sure. Reggie actually has had an account since 2021. But yeah, I mean, even then, having guys like that are tied to the physical community space so well.
Metaverse Life is here.
Into an event like this and help them
Yo,
understand what this is all about. It was a really special opportunity.
Daniel Marquez.
And they had a chance to talk to David
Veve
a little bit. It was just really cool to connect these two spaces like that.
Yeah.
For them to understand it. So it went a long way.
But you guys didn't answer my question. How are you feeling about actually? No worries. It's all good. So we don't miss that question. How is the feeling of actually knowing your fan base, the BB fan, and everything? How did you feel about that? Did you feel like very welcome? How was the environment for you guys?
I actually made like a video saying thank you to everyone because there's not a ton of times in life. I think especially as you get older, where everyone, not just one person, multiple people coming up saying, "Hey, great to see you," and it's genuine and it's real and they're smiling and you see it in their eyes, like they're happy, and then you hug them. And I feel like a lot of people, I don't know, I feel like people just don't give hugs anymore, and you just hug them. It's like, oh, it feels so good. I missed you, man. And it's just a very, I feel like people don't get that ever. Like even just like, I don't know, you ever like high five your boys, like, oh yeah, that was great. I don't know, I feel like those moments are few and far between, but you got those moments all the time, like every single time at every couple of minutes when meeting people. And I didn't pay for a drink like for a couple of nights, so that was really good also.
That's the most important thing for you. You told us yesterday.
Oh man, Wendy, I'll tell you, Comics and Crypto's fan base were, going up to him and talking to him and all that stuff. Randy's fan base, they were hiding because they don't know what Randy's going to do, whether he's going to hug them, kiss them, cuddle them.
I'm ready for it all.
Gotta keep them on their toes.
Okay, I want to welcome Foster. Hi, brother. How are you? It was such a great time seeing you.
Oh, Foster Hilt is here.
Welcome here.
How's it going, everyone? Wendy, thank you for hosting the space and for inviting me up. And yeah, it's awesome to see so many friendly faces. It was so awesome to see so many friendly faces at New York Comic Con. I wasn't expecting to see you there, Wendy, but it was so nice to be able to see you and so much of the rest of the Veve fam together, hanging out, and just celebrating and having a good time. So no, it was awesome. Everyone was excited to see one another. Everyone was in good spirits. So I was really glad I was able to make it out. New York every year is always very special for me. It's so busy and jam-packed, but you really do get to spend some time with some really incredible people. So yeah, it was a great time.
The only thing that I didn't like about seeing you was that you were not with your wife. What happened there?
Is that the qualifier now? If my wife's not around, no one wants to see me.
Yes.
Yeah, so
they still have first appearance characters all the time.
I would have liked to have been able to bring her, but as many of you know, I had a second child earlier this year, so having a 3-year-old and a 5-month-old at home, there's just a little bit more that goes into traveling. My daughter's still bottle fed and needs to be, fed pretty much every 3 hours like clockwork. So it was just a little
Thanks for the
bit,
birth
there
control
would have been
foster.
too much going on in order to have her calm, and we just didn't feel comfortable leaving both of the kids with the grandparents just for an extended period of time. We just didn't think it would work out, but hopefully by the next one, they'll both be old enough that we can ship them off to a grandparent, and we'll be able to all hang out, and she'll be able to come and say hi to everyone.
Did you guys get the Funko today, Sanjay and Foster?
Funko. I love how she says Funko.
Yeah, sorry, you were saying the Funko box today?
Yes.
Yeah,
in Spanish.
Yeah, no, that's great. I did go for the Funko drop today, and I had some help from a couple of the Veve fam that live in the States and
Randy.
stuff who really gave me a hand. So I actually
You could say it,
purchased
Foster.
4 collectibles today. So we'll see how it goes. I was really excited. I put out a post earlier talking kind of about my thoughts about the drop and the experience. But, overall, I'm really excited about what this represents for Veve and their partnership with Marvel and Funko. So I really wanted to be able to support the drop and support Veve, and I thought it would be a really cool, collector's item to own. Before I got into Veve, I really didn't own any physical collectibles, but ever since
now he has a wall of Tods.
if you guys have seen any of the videos that I've ever put out, I've really, filled up my room with physical collectibles. So I can't wait to be able to display some of those Iron Man vinyl gold collectibles in my background. And I'm excited to be able to redeem and see what collectibles I get and see, what else comes of that partnership.
I've seen your wall of Tods. Very impressive.
Thanks, baby.
He's the Lord of Thoughts. How do you say? Thoughts Lord? Lord of Thoughts. Anyway, Sanjay, how many did you get?
I got 2. One for myself, one for my nephew. His birthday's coming up, so I'm going to give him one, but I'm going to open the box to make sure.
Sanjay's nephew.
Yes! That's good. He's only 10. He doesn't deserve it. That's called uncle privileges, man.
I love Sanjay so much.
That's amazing.
I'm going to have a winner there. 2 for 1. But anyway, so, yeah, I think Wendy briefly touched on it. I wanted to let you guys know. We have about 180 people in the Veve Gold and Silver Logo Telegram group now, and that is a very highly engaged group. David Hughes in there, a lot of the whales are in there. It's very diverse. It's got a lot of women. It's got a lot of people in different parts of the world. And so today, what we did was, today was a day where people don't like it when only the U.S. people get access to something.
Iron Man's not a first appearance. So
we basically said, look, people in the U.S. will get multiples, and we will enable others to get it. So within the Gold Logo group, whoever was international wanted, we made sure everybody got it.
Planet Profits.
Then we said, okay, let's help others too. So then, like Jeg wanted a piece. So then I connected Jeg into somebody. Then Dr. Stuff had one, and he's listening here as well, man. Thank you very much. So somebody in France wanted another piece. So, we connected them as well. So, just a great community, very, very good community that went a long way. So today was a day where,
gotcha.
It might have been a U.S. drop, but pretty much everybody internationally got what they wanted, And if anybody has it, you should let us know, We can make it happen.
I didn't know.
Magneto and Professor X, 2 high mint, 2 high price. Those aren't going to sell out. And it's Comic-Con weekend.
Very connected and very
Gotcha, Planet.
united,
Gotcha.
because
Rest easy.
sometimes you feel left behind when everything that is amazing always happening in the US, and we might understand the why, but sometimes you do feel like left behind, and it's good when you feel that others can help you. I got one of the comics from Veve to someone that lives in Mexico, so I'm gonna see him in 2 weeks to give him the comic, and I signed. How do you say sign? Like David, you signed the. How do you read? I think okay. Sign the the cover, And I think that is important, no? That people really wants to help, and that is honestly when I was there, I have been missing this part of being so connected to good people that are supporting always, and I think that is the key of this community, especially because you guys are very good friends and
Oh,
really
Wendy,
mean well
don't make me
for
cry.
others. Well, most of you. So I think that is great. And I just want to ask you about
Listening at night.
Comic Con. What was your expectations, and if it was how you expected? Like, what was your opinion about the Comic Con and everything? Sorry, guys, it has been a long time since I do this in English, so my brain, again, like I was in NYC trying to understand everyone. So hang there with me. I'm sorry if I do mistake again.
You're
Hi,
crushing it,
Wendy.
Wendy. You're crushing it.
Wendy's so
But
good.
yeah, that's the question. What was your opinion about NYC Comic Con?
Always a blast. Always have. I mean, I wish there were more cosplayers. Especially in the Veve community. I think K Collections came as Poison Ivy. She gave me a couple Pokemon cards, so that's really fun. But and then I think Magic dressed up as Chucky on Thursday night.
That was great.
So
Yeah,
so that
both
was
costumes
fun.
are great.
But yeah, I wish we would all embrace cosplay a little bit more because that's always fun. Although Metaverse Life in that suit looking dapper AF, that was fun. He could do that again.
Yeah, I see Metaverse Life down there. Yeah, but yeah, it was awesome. He just actually flew back from Europe and came directly to the con.
Yeah,
That
was
was
amazing,
awesome. That was amazing. Yeah.
hero. And then the rest was really fun. Just going out, have CGC right there so they could witness comics being signed, and it had Vincent Zerzolo, he was there. So just a lot. It was just a lot of fun. And people coming up, taking pictures and being at the Marvel booth is always fun. I kind of wish there were some secret surprise drops like there were in San Diego, but
Yeah, that was cool.
it's fine. It's fine. The rest was good.
Yeah, it was interesting when I went down to the artist alley. I talked to Alex Saviuk, he's done a lot of the big original covers for Grails, like Hulk 1, Captain America 4, and AF-15. And what's really special about his art is that he does physical artwork that he turns into an NFT. Right, so he does the sketches, the actual original sketch. It's been colored by a talented artist, and then they turn into an NFT. But he still owns all the physical one-of-one art pieces, and he has sold a couple of them. He actually did sell Hulk 1 to an artist that just liked it. He had no idea that it was what was attached to it or the meaning behind it. He's like, I love that piece. I'll pay X amount for it. But what's really interesting is that a lot of people don't know that. They don't know that he has these things. A lot of artists have these physical pieces. So I'm really trying to help him kind of market those and get them out there so people in the community know that they're available. And if they're interested, they're for sale.
Oh, that's incredible, man. Yeah, for me, I would say Comic Con was just an incredible experience. Last year, there were 5 people on the Veve team that were at the event, and that included Dan's wife, who doesn't work for the company. You know what I mean? And this year, they had 30 Veve employees. So to see a company grow to almost 6x in size at just the event tells you how committed they are, how big they are getting, and how much ahead of the curve they're willing to invest, which is great. And David and Dan, I don't know about Dan actually. David flew there 4 days before Comic-Con, and he was setting up.
He was working
himself 4 days before the Comic-Con. So that just tells you the magnitude of this event. How much has changed from last year to this year. Last year, was just like Ron English, pretty much. Like, we didn't know the other artists, Like, we didn't know Mumbot very well. We didn't know Jason Mailer very well. We didn't know all these other artists, Even Simone and all these guys. Like, we didn't know them, right? Peach, none of them. But this year, they all, like, Veve Fam interacted with all of them. All of them. Like Ron, Simone, all of them. And it's growing. And there were 2 artists. Nino brought 2 artists to the party, Tihani and Micah. They're incredible artists, man. They were in Artist Alley and they were doing some beautiful work. So, I think the goal here, comic script, man, like, you guys have to kind of, just like the way you brought in all these guys, these comic dealers and stuff, right? Now we have to step up the artists. So this year we got up to about 10 or 12 of them that are in our sphere of influence, right? Well, they came or not, fine. They want to come, right? In the timing and all. So next year, man, like, goal should be like we will bring in 25 tier A or B artists in there, top shelf. Like, I'm working on Peach personally. Like, I cannot tell you how hard I'm working to bring Peach Momoko there, man. She recognizes me now. Her husband recognizes me now. They've spoken to me now. So, there's familiarity. So, we just have to keep working. But, that's the other thing, Wendy, a lot of artists will come. This year there were a lot more. Next year there'll be even more. And then if you think about Veve Fam, last year we had like about 100 people. And I think maybe some of us got gold cards last year. This year there were somewhere between 85 and 95 gold card holders there at that event. And I think another 5 or 6 got some at the event, which is just so incredible, to see that degree of engagement out there. And then a lot of people with big wallets, right? They also came. Like, there was a guy called Shiv. He's very big. He had a pretty big collection. Colonel Sats. He didn't come to the party. He was busy, but he did come for the previous night. There's like Zeus, who is, I think he's like number 10 on BB or something. He's got like nearly 10,000 collectibles and comics. He's in London. He's a big lawyer. He came. I didn't know who he was.
Big lawyer.
So, like, more and more of those types of people are coming in, and they're bringing their friends and their business associates and stuff. So that, that influence of BB is growing. Like, I had drinks with the guy who's the CMO of Sony. Like, literally, I had drinks with the CMO of Sony.
It's amazing.
And he, he found out last minute. But next year, he's definitely coming. He's told me, look, I'm coming next year for sure. He already had like some commitment. Even that, he was trying to kind of come on. But anyway, so, Wendy, I think, the key thing here is this event for Veve is important. It's a great place to, get that influence and presence felt in the, to hire for them, the artists, the community, the whatever, all of those things, right? So just, like, it blew my mind, Wendy. I had no idea it was so big. Even my party was 100 people last year. This year it's more than 200. And 300 plus people wanted to come in. 300 people wanted to come in, man. Like I said, no. No, really, man. How many people wrote to me and said, hey, my brother, my friend, my this, that,
Right.
whatever. So I told them this year, everybody I told, look, man, like, you want your brother, your uncle, your whoever to come next year, they're welcome, but open your account now and start buying. You know what I mean? Start, developing a presence in Veve, because otherwise you're going to be the guy who's, putting your fingers on your palm on the glass and looking inside from outside. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Go.
No.
No, I was just going to say, Sanjay really hit on a point at the beginning there that I wanted to reemphasize as well when he talked about David flying in 4 days early to get ready for this event. And,
he's working. He's meeting with license holders.
For this event, I had a really unique perspective. I went with the team to go and help them set up earlier in the day. So I actually left Comic-Con at about to go to the event and help set up. And there was a lot to get done. There was, Cirque du Soleil was doing rehearsals, the DJ music, everyone was getting set up. But what people don't realize is that, Funko donated an entire moving truck worth of physical toys for this event, for giveaways, for the bags, for holders and stuff to celebrate this. And we had to package up, 250 gift boxes from literally a moving truck worth of items. And, to see how involved Dan and David were in the process, like, they weren't just...
Yes, there will be multiple number
in the
ones.
background on their phones, hey, you guys, like, Dan was, on his knees, running around, moving gift bags around, really doing the nitty-gritty work. Same with David doing, and it was just really incredible to be able to see, like, they're not, higher or mighty than they don't think that they're better than anyone, or because they're the top of the pecking order, that they don't need to put in the work. And I think that that's something that I really got to see firsthand, and it was very evident to me that everyone was there that worked on the Veve team really respected and fed off of that work ethic. And so that for me was really cool to see how everyone was just genuinely really excited to be there, and was sharing in conversation and excitement for the event, and how much everyone was genuinely excited for the party and the celebration. There was no money conversations, hey, we're making this, or hey, this is happening. It was very much a celebration of what it represented. And I had an opportunity to go around with David a little bit at Comic-Con and just watch him try and get some things signed.
It's a Spaces on Twitter.
It's incredible just to watch the passion and excitement that he has when it comes to collecting. You're not going to find that anywhere else. Now, communities may have passionate collectors, of course, and I'm not taking that away from anyone, but to find a CEO who's as passionate about collecting and just his journey that he's gone through, it's just really, it's incredible. So it was a lot of fun to be at Comic-Con and be able to see that, because a lot of the outside perspective, you don't get to see that. You just show up for the event and everything's ready, and you just assume, oh, well, they hired contractors or whatever to get this done. But no, like, they were really working behind the scenes themselves to make sure that everything ran as smooth as possible, and to get ready to really have this coming out party of sorts and celebration for Veve with this new vertical that they're launching. And I think that, I think the licensors who were there were very happy, and I think a lot of the people that were at the party were very happy as well. So you don't always get that at a Comic-Con. Generally, it's just Marvel and Veve. At least it has been for the last kind of 2 years. But this was the first time where we got to kind of see a little bit more of the product offering and things that we could kind of expect to see moving forward from Veve. So it's really exciting. Like you said, they had 30 people there that were staff this year. I think last year people were complaining about the fact that Veve didn't even have 30 people working for them, right? So it's really going to be interesting to see how they continue to grow the company over time and bring on more, exciting and passionate people that will hopefully be able to continue to improve what they're rolling out, and we can continue to party and celebrate all those things that they're going to accomplish.
Yeah, Foster, it's amazing. One thing to add there would be, the Phygital is the path to bring in Web 2 to Web 3. Because this is a bear market. If you want to bring in people, you need an on-ramp. There is no way you're going to get, the masses to start looking at NFTs differently. You're going to have to get them into very cool Web 2 stuff, and they're going to find themselves with Web 3 stuff in their wallets, and they're going to fall in love with Web 3. And that's the way to go. And Veve is not just dipping their toes in it. They are going very, very, very big in it with Funko. And there are more partnerships in the space. I can't disclose. I don't know the details, but I saw some people, from other kind of pretty big kind of partners in that general Web 2 to Web 3 space out there. And so that's going to be massive. It's going to be massive. Sorry, Sean, go ahead, man.
No, yeah, that's very well said, Sanjay, and I'm so glad you brought up the importance of the digital space, because this is not just going to be a one-time occurrence. This is something we're going to continue to see, and it will get bigger over time. I have no doubt.
My muscles are so.
But just in general, like, I'm very blessed. I've had a chance to go to all 4 Comic-Cons with Veve, and the energy just keeps getting better and bigger every year. From the first year, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, nice to see everybody, nice to meet everyone. And you start building the relationships, getting to know people more and more, especially like the faceless community members you haven't really seen. You hear the voices sometimes, but you have a chance to engage in person. You have an opportunity to do that in these events, and it's so exciting. I mean, regardless of where the market's at, like, all that, just throw it out the window, because when you're out at these events and you're going to meet people in person, it's electric. It's electric. And I strongly recommend anyone out there who hasn't been to an event, try your best to try to go to an event in the future.
I still get emails.
Even if it's a VCon,
you'd have to go.
Same kind of feel and vibe. It's exciting,
I don't know, though.
Man. It's really, really fun.
Yeah, speaking
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry.
Wendy.
Speaking of Deacon, I wanted to point out a small detail that
Likely not going to
I
decon.
think not everyone has realized. I don't know how many of you went to the first like in real life event that it was in 2021
That
at
was fun.
Deacon when even Dan and David couldn't attend. That there was like the BB booth was literal just a table with a how do you say well with a things that you put over the table.
I remember.
And it was just a small part, and we did like a live stream that we tried to figure it out. And then
I remember that.
I know. So it's incredible. It blew my mind, like how long it has been. And I don't know how many of you guys know, but this is our bear market. This is literal a bear market, and I have been in many events. I just went to 2 of them, and you can see that this is incredible now to see that all the projects that are right now keep building, keep doing this type of event, keep attending to in real life events, means that they are putting the work on a bear market. And that is something that blows my mind when you see in perspective, like all the, they said that to prove who is, to prove how is someone, just look their journey. That means like, see how long they have been working, because you will see who they are, because it's easy to have a pump and then just disappear, but what it's worthy, it takes time, and seeing like all the projects that I have been is incredible and blows my mind how long it has been, and at the same time how much they are growing.
Yeah. Wendy, three 3 days ago, last year, I started the Veve Gold Logo Telegram group.
Oh, wow.
Because I met David at New York Comic Con, and he told me, look, this is, something, this is a gift for people who are attending IRL events. And every year when they come, I'll give them gifts, right? At different events. And, his vision, I understood his vision. What he told me, I understood. The thing that people, and the price of this thing, and the price is not the main objective here, but I'll still say it anyway. The price at the time was, I think, about $1,200. People were selling their gold logos for $1,200, $1,300, $1,400, something like that. In fact, even $1,000.
Crazy.
The one thing I realized at the time was, when you buy a collectible, it's like going to a golf course and buying a round of golf. The Veve Gold logo is like a lifetime membership to that country club.
Of course.
Not just a round of golf, to a country club.
Eva's course is good.
There's no expiry date on it, number one.
What's up, JQ?
Number two, every time you go to an IRL event, Veve does something and you have priority. Number three, they give you a gift. That gift they give you is a gold digital collectible from an artist like Ron English. It's limited in quantity by definition because only 500 some people, right? Even less than that, because Veve has a lot of those logos too, right? Like they keep some. Then now they're starting to give out fidget toys. And what was in my mind at the time was, look, people have not understood the difference between a lifetime membership versus a one round of golf here.
Shoot.
I'm going to form the biggest, the greatest group on this planet. And I am going to create community-driven utility like you will not believe. And this is now my third event for, Veve Gold logo holders. I mean, I invite all the OGs in there. Because, if you're an OG, you're an OG, man. Like, shit, man. Like, I respect you, whether you have a gold logo or not. But even them, like a lot of them got their gold logos because they're OGs at my parties. In fact, the next one, round 2, if there's any logos left, man, like the OGs who come to my party, I'll work with David, whoever, to get you guys up. But remember, now, think about it. This time you got a second version of the gold logo, which the floor price by itself is $1,000. You got a bag full of Funkos, which was worth, I don't know, a couple $100. You got the raw English gold monkeys, which were, I don't know, worth what, like probably $300-400. You got 2 each or whatever, right? That's about $600. And so you've got, like, this time alone, you've got like $2,000 worth of value.
You do find a profit. You do.
to add to it, you're part of a community where we look out for each other. And it's got David in it. It's got
My hips.
all the top community, biggest whales in Veve in it. It's got some of the biggest, content creators in it.
My
It's
hips.
got
Okay.
some incredible people in it.
It hurts.
So that, that piece, we're talking about, Wendy, you're talking about a New York Comic Con recap. Sometimes when you're sitting in a car and the car speeds up, you don't feel like when you're at 0 miles an hour versus 100 miles an hour. And I'm telling you, this car is only at 10 miles an hour right now. It's going to go very, very fast. And this, these IRL events are massive for people who care. So if you choose to go to an IRL event, it's a lot of fun, whether you have a card or not. Obviously, with the card, it makes it kind of, a little more kind of easier, accessible and stuff. Let me pause there. Hopefully, like this whole analogy of buying a round of golf versus, buying a lifetime membership to the country club, like people look at it as a collectible. Think about it. Like, tell me, people look at it and say, this is the price. It's a collectible. It's not a collectible, dude. It is not a collectible. There should be a separate category called lifetime membership things.
And for those of you that are wondering, well, yeah, Sanjay, but it's $5,000 at the floor. I could get other stuff with that. Listen, there are other people in talking about country clubs that will pay tens of thousands of dollars for a country club each year, and they don't even go. They go there just to have the status. Yes, I'm part of this country club, and again, they don't even go. People that
sometimes each month.
Yeah, and
I don't pay that each month.
shout out to Comics and Crypto for making that video, releasing it this morning, for saying why the gold and silver logo is the biggest grail on the app. So if you're tired of all like the 8 videos that I've done, watch his video and it'll get you really bullish.
I think Comics was going to say something. I think you're mute.
Yeah.
You good?
Oh, I was just putting the tweet out for the video. Randy, thanks so much for that, man. Thank you. Yeah, this video contains some thoughts of ours over the past few months, and it's very exciting. I mean, all the points that you guys have said, we've felt as well, and this is a really exciting opportunity. This kind of feels like it's Veve's actual NFT project. And the cool thing about it too is they have a chance to show licensors the importance of IRL utility or different opportunities for utility. And because I think right now, especially a lot of licensors are probably still kind of figuring out the space, how to get involved. We saw DC do it with Backhouse, and they've crushed it, in my opinion. They continue to do really well. But it was really cool to see Veve take a chance on doing something like that for themselves. And it's a great case study. On top of just being a part of this amazing membership, like Sanjay said. And it's so true. So true.
Just I want to do a disclaimer, guys. When you talk about prices, please disclaim that this is not financial advice. This is pure entertainment purposes, educational purposes. Because, my guys, I'm just saying that. So this is a space is just a non-financial advice. Zero, like minus. No.
Foster just gave
No.
a finger.
Don't get it wrong, guys. So yes, sorry, I had to say that.
If you come here to take financial advice, God help you, right?
I feel like I'm not gonna hop on the. I own a Veve Gold logo. I'm not gonna hop on the train. Suffice to say, it's probably the one piece that I just don't see myself ever selling. Like outside of price, like I don't even care what it's worth. I don't even think you can really search it on the app very easily. I feel like they have it set up.
No,
like
it will not have the same utility as version 1.
Like to me, it's not really.
It might have utility in the future, but it will not have the same utility as version 1.
I don't look at it from a financial perspective. For me, I kind of just look at it as like I own it and it's not even tradable, because there's just so much utility associated with it that I love and take advantage of it. All the RL events, but yeah, I won't harp on the gold logo because I know everyone's kind of talked about it, and everyone that doesn't have one is going to be thinking we're trying to plug it, whatever. And that's not my intention. I think it's really cool though, and I know everyone else does too. But
I don't have a gold logo, by the way.
Wendy, poor Wendy.
But
We'll get one.
Sanjay said something really interesting before we got on the gold logo that I kind of wanted to circle back to, touching on Web 2 versus Web 3. And Wendy brought up a good point about us being in a bear market and projects still building and stuff. And, I think it's interesting that, when you're living through history, you very often don't recognize the effect or influence something has until you're able to look back.
How pretty Fanny is.
And see, oh wow, that really had an impact on XYZ. And so, I think for an example of that is, when Veve first came out and, Todd's sat in the store for months on end. People didn't see a reason to buy these collectibles, or they just simply didn't know that it existed. And then you hit kind of, the peak of 2021, and we're seeing those going for $15,000, right? And, manipulated or not, whatever. Not the point that I'm getting at. But, it was really interesting to see that over time people realized, well, wait a second, maybe there's something to this. And then, when Veve released their first comic books, and Marvel Comics #1 came out, there were 60,000 editions. And I think the vast majority of people, probably thought, well, hey, this is not even going to sell out. And, it didn't really. And then the common was going for $2. And people were like, yeah, see, this is a bust. Why would anyone want to own a digital comic? And then, fast forward a year, and the common comic's going for $500.
Like 600.
With, 40,000 editions. So, I think over time, I don't want to say it because I'm not trying to pump it once again, because I did buy 4 of them, and I probably will sell 1 or 2 of them at some point. But the reason I bought them is I just really feel like people are sleeping on the digital aspect and it coming. And the reason that I say that, and I circle back to what Sanjay said with Web 2 and Web 3 and Wendy with people building, is that, no one right now outside of the groups that already exist in Web 3 care about NFTs. Everyone thinks that it's a scam. No one wants to get involved with it. No one wants to take the time to learn what it is. So I think when you're talking about onboarding people to the space, it's not simply about educating people on what something is. It's giving them a reason to use something that they already own or can acquire in their everyday lives that they're familiar with, and then bridging the gap without even realizing that they're being educated on something. Because no one likes to be told, hey, you're missing out on this, or hey, you don't know about whatever. But when you think about all of the physical collectors that were at Comic-Con this past week, and there was hundreds of thousands of people that were there willing to spend hundreds of dollars a day just to get in the door to then buy their favorite collectibles, comics, artworks from those artists and those publishers. And when I was there, I realized all these people don't know about Veve and don't care about Veve, but the most effective way to onboard them is to give them what they're already using and then take that as a bridge to bring them in. And what I mean by that with digitals is you don't need to convince people that NFTs are more valuable or they're better for the environment or they're this, that, or whatever compared to physical collectibles that they're already used to knowing and loving. What you can do is give them the physical that they already know and love, and then include the digital collectible with that purchase. And then whether they use it or not is up to them, but they can be invited into the technology and into the experience without missing out on what they already feel holds value to them. And to me, I think that it's just a really unique opportunity that we'll continue to see roll out as digital, because I can go to anyone that physically collects and has for years and say, hey, you should buy this cool physical collectible. Oh, and hey, you get this item for free on top of it. And that's just a much easier pill to swallow than, hey, do you want to buy these gem things on this app and buy a picture of something on a screen that may cost you several $100s? So I really feel like this digital concept, whether the Iron Man itself does well or not, who knows? But I think that the concept of digital and the doors that it can open for Veve and the licensors that they work with is just super exciting. I see a world in which, concert tickets are sold on Veve one day, and with the concert tickets you get a limited edition, MP3 file where you can listen to, an unreleased track or something live from the event. You can buy sporting tickets, and when you buy the sporting tickets, you get a limited edition NFT or collectible from that team. And I just feel like there's so many different verticals that we already know Veve is looking to explore, and probably others that we have absolutely no idea about, that with this digital concept will open up so many doors for them and likely onboard so many collectors in the process. So I'm just really excited, and I feel like we're going to be able to look back in a few years and have that aha moment where, wow, this really was a big deal, and that's why it was being celebrated as big as it was at the time.
Aha. Preach.
That was incredible, Foster. Such good points, man. And you know what's interesting about what you just said too?
Say it again for the people in the back.
The concept of utility to physical collectors, right? Because you own this and you get this. It's kind of interesting, right? How they're kind of. I feel like there's maybe some kind of a connection there. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, you obviously come from, a physical collectible world, so I think you'd probably be qualified to call me on this if I'm totally out to lunch. But similarly to me, I did not collect any physical collectibles before I got into Veve. And of course, I went out and bought the Todds because Todd had a lot of sentimental meaning to me as kind of being the first collectible on Veve and how much I believed in the project. But there was no value to that. I got 12 boxes that are sealed and they're cool and everything, but they kind of sit in my ping pong room. They don't really do anything.
Yeah,
but now you can kind of meld this where for me, you're encouraging me to go out because I can buy the digital that I love, but I also get the physical that I can show off, on my channel, in my videos, giveaways, or whatever I want to do. And then conversely, like you said, for the physical collectors, they're being introduced to that utility for the first time. They're understanding the value of having a digital item, the fact that it can be displayed, doesn't take up space, that they can share it with their friends in kind of a new medium. And I think that that's just a much easier, I almost feel like the narrative for the last couple of years has just, and not that it's anyone's fault, because I've definitely done it as well, but I almost feel like we've been going about it the wrong way, trying to onboard people. We're just trying to convince people that, hey, what we're doing is newer and better than what you're doing, and you should come do this thing instead. And I just feel like if anyone approached me with an idea like that, I think I'd automatically just be defensive. I wouldn't be as open to that idea as I probably could have been. But if you can integrate something that I already love with something that you think could improve what I love anymore, and it doesn't affect the core of what, like, you're still going to get that physical collectible. Nothing about that changes. You want to leave it sealed, you leave it sealed. You want to open it, you can open it. You want to trade it on eBay or give it to, like, none of those things has changed.
I was stretching.
But it gives you this opportunity to check out something that maybe you wouldn't have checked out before. But I also kind of look at it for these people as it's a free gift to them, similarly to how the Veve Gold logo gives you those free gifts. I don't want to call it an investment because, as Wendy has so eloquently put it, it is not financial advice. But
still an investment.
If I was going to go out and spend X amount of money on something anyways, and you also are going to give me something free on top of it that I could sell and turn around for something, then, I might be more willing to check it out than I would have otherwise. So, yeah, it's a really interesting concept. I think, I saw a couple of people share that maybe maybe this drop was priced a lot higher than what the traditional Funko collector is used to. I know that there was a LeBron James chase, and I'm not sure what
the other ones might get utility, but they won't be as big. It'll be like maybe extra waitlist tickets or MCP points or something. I don't see them getting a ton of utility. But who knows?
An $150 item is pushing that price limit quite a bit. But I know someone had put out a post earlier today and basically said, I think this is cool, but for $150, no thank you, which is fair. But I just responded and gave a perspective. I said, we have another Iron Man on Veve right now that's not an FA, that has 3,555 editions, so more than what is currently in this drop. It was all one mint run. It wasn't. It didn't have different variants, so there wasn't the potential to score a secret rare or make money off of that. It didn't come with a physical collectible.
It's a good point.
And it was selling for $60 and is going for $70. It's going for above retail. So if you could turn around and even just sell the common Iron Man for
curly hair.
$70, which is what the Iron Man right now is selling for on Veve in this example. And of course, that's 3,555 editions. And you know, the most that this one would have as a common would be 1,500. If you can turn around and sell it for 75, then is this collectible worth $75 to you, right? Maybe it wasn't worth 150, but if you could recoup that cost, was it worth 75? And so
good point,
I think it's about challenging our thinking when it comes to certain things. You know, living in Canada, 150 US is you know, well over $200 for it, and then of course the shipping fees and having to go pick it up in the States. So for me, it's going to run a pretty penny. But like I said, it wasn't necessarily about making money for me.
30
this
people
was
watching,
about
20
kind of
likes,
the first
$10 in super chats.
Experience
Love
with
it.
Veve. But for those people that are looking to make
some
that
braids.
money,
Shout out from Elmont,
scam
Jay.
or a ripoff, it's really just about challenging that perspective.
I'm not sure.
Where, you know, where is that narrative coming from? Because, you know, if you just look at the Veve app and what things are selling for, you know, it just doesn't match. So, you know, how the pricing and all these decisions are made is obviously way above my pay grade. And, you know, I kind of choose to believe, and, you know, whether naive or not, that Veve does have a plan. You know, David has mentioned several times, you know, 20 to 50 million users is not out of the realm of possibility in his opinion. So, you know, every time people complain about the fact that there's 4,000 of an FA and only 10% of it sells out, you know, I try and remember, you know, the macroeconomic factors of where we are right now.
I'm very good at braiding hair, actually.
The things that are going on in the world. And, you know, I remember that Todd sat there in the shop for months without even being sold out. And so, you know, Sean, you could probably touch on this, but, you know, being a physical collector, I don't know that anyone's ever bought anything and said to themselves, well, in 20 minutes, this is going to be worth more than what I paid for it. You know, obviously there's certain exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, you collect it because you're passionate about it. And, you know, comics from 70 years ago may turn out to be worth a bunch of money, but those types of things just don't happen overnight. I think we were, you know, spoiled in 2021 with certain events and that took place that led to a perfect storm that people really believed that maybe things were worth, you know,
I'll send them a picture.
You know, for whatever reason they weren't. But long term, I don't think that takes away the value of what some of these things could be, and whether that happens or not, you know, is up to everyone's own risk tolerance. But I think for people to be, you know, dismissive of the direction or amount or quantity, I think unless we're truly able to peel back the curtain, I don't think we can ever truly understand the grand vision that Veve has. But I can promise you, when I first joined this project years ago, you know, I wouldn't have seen Disney coming. I wouldn't have seen the digitals coming, and you know, I wouldn't have seen partnerships at Comic-Con booths and being brand name sponsored at Con events. So it'll be interesting to see how everything turns out. Hindsight will always be 2020, and so until they give me a reason not to, I'm going to continue to give them the benefit of the doubt and see, you know, what they can make of this new medium that really is an opportunity to take over, in my opinion.
Yeah, the growth during the bear market has been absolutely incredible. I mean, they're just continuing to grow. I mean, even within their staff, you know, during the bear market. It's very impressive. While other companies in Web3 are unfortunately falling through, you know, they're still growing in a big way. But what's interesting about the Funkos, not a lot of Funkos are actually announced with limited releases. That's not very common. I mean, we have seen on the Wax blockchain. If any of you have gotten any digitals on the Wax blockchain, I've been pretty involved in that for a while, and that's really one of the only consistent times that we see a limited announcement for Funkos. Typically, even at Comic-Cons, they'll sometimes have an announcement, but usually it just says Comic-Con exclusive on it. But that being said, there are Funkos, you know, very limited ones that have sold for tens of thousands of dollars. Some that have sold for a few $100,000.
A lot of money.
So it's interesting. You know, the Funko market is really interesting. But these ones, I'm excited to see that they announced different variants, because there are different companies that do, like Pop Mart, for example. You can buy some small physical collectibles with dozens, if not hundreds, of different IP, and it's a blind box format for $20, and you can buy
get a Funko in pink.
Something different every time.
They could have
hopefully
Barbie Funko.
But it was really cool to see them announce different variants with different limited sizes. That's really, really.
Do I look like Brown Wednesday Addams?
I think they kind of pushed that already, maybe pushed that with Funko. So I don't know. I'm really excited to see what these, you know, how these are going to be, how people in the Funko community are going to react to them. I know they didn't initially sell out, but you know, we'll see. And if they don't, Either way, it's been a really fun opportunity to get involved in all this. I think it's really exciting to see where the future holds with the collaboration. But that being said, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for having me, and Wendy, thank you so much for having me on, and this has been a lot of fun.
Does Commerce and Crypto have to go?
Are you leaving?
I do, yeah, I'm sorry. I have to
Commerce and Crypto.
I'm so sorry, Wendy. Yeah, I had to head out at 7:30. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
No, you don't, Sean.
Sanjay. Randy Foster, I love you guys. Sanjay, thanks so much, man. You're so fantastic. Thank you everybody for having me on. This is a blast. It's so great talking to you guys. It always is.
I love you, my bae.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Wrap it
this
around,
conversation
stretch
is very
different
interesting
aspects. Yeah.
because it shows so different point of view about through the years, because sometimes when you are just in the present, you forget the path that you have walked to get where you are now. So I want to ask you guys, what do you expect about the future? How do you think it's going to be maybe the next year, maybe in 2 years, in 3 years? What are your expectations?
Ooh.
I did a lot of talking. It's someone else's turn.
When are we talking about with Veve or in general? Because there's a lot.
Yes, about Veve. Sorry, my bad.
Okay. So a few, Binance is here. A few months ago, David had an interview with Binance. It was Binance New Zealand. And some amazing person had asked this incredible question about AI and ChatGPT. And David answered, he says, yeah, we have ideas to have our characters in the Veveverse and, have them not be normal NPCs, have them enabled with ChatGPT and say, answer every question like Steve Rogers, like Captain America. And I think that's one of the most slept on quotes that anyone has ever slept on. If you go, and I'm not saying, when Veveverse rolls out, and, more people are getting out, I think, invites, I think in the next week or so. But that's just the beta. I'm talking about when at some point next year you have IP branded worlds and you have these incredible characters that I've spent more time than I'd like to admit having ChatGPT write scenes with Vision because I don't believe they've used them enough in the MCU. And now people can go and ask him anything. You're getting an Ask Me, you're getting an AMA with some of the most well-written characters. Like these are the Greek gods of our time. Like these are the, this is some of the most amazing stories, and I feel bad for people that haven't read them. So I think ChatGPT incorporated in the Veveverse when we have Omi to accessory and all these, I think that would be great.
Yeah, I agree, Randy. I think because I talked about some of the things that I'm most excited about with digital and kind of those interactions, I'd say, and it kind of feels like a cop-out answer. But
I'm a co-host.
For me, some of the things that I'm most excited about are the things that I don't know, right? And so you are the sum of your.
I'm a co-host.
Before 2021, I knew what Bitcoin was. I had it invested in it. I hadn't really checked it out. But before 2021, I didn't know what Veve was. I didn't know it existed. I didn't know about any of this, right? And so I feel like there's going to be so many verticals and so many different avenues that Veve can explore that I can't fathom. They're just going to be able to reach into different sectors with different licensors and do different partnerships that, don't make any sense on paper at first. And you're just like, what? Like, why would you do that? And then they'll do it, and you go, oh, you know what? I get it now. And so I've really come to learn that their vision, we've seen how quickly Veve delivers, but I would say that their vision tends to be, years ahead of anyone else. So I'm just really excited to see the things that we all don't know about yet, and the things that are coming that are probably already in the works. I think about the fact that they first started talking to Disney in 2018, and we didn't even find out about Disney until 2021. And it makes me wonder, what licenses, who are they partnered with that we have absolutely no idea about that, they partnered with maybe in 2021 or 2022, or who they will partner with, who, have had this vision, and the platform is just not built out or supported in order to have these people integrated into it. So that for me is probably the most exciting thing that I'm looking forward to is when I can wake up one day and I have a post notification from Veve where they've, partnered with
Veve is
whoever, right? And so I don't even know. I don't have an example, but I just think it would be really cool to see that and be like, wow, I did not see this coming. And I feel like every time Veve does make a big announcement, it's something that I didn't see coming. I don't think a lot of people realize that in 2021, Funko sold $1.3 billion in physical toys. But I don't think people realize how big of a company Funko is, right? And so I just think about stuff like that, and I'm like, wow, like who are they going to partner with next? And I'm not going to talk even about the Omi side and all the potential for that, but just the partnerships and licenses that they come. Like I truly believe in 2023 now that there is no license or partnership that they could not acquire if they wanted to and if it made sense. Like I equate it to boxing, where someone says, I'm the A side, I'm the one, and I feel like back in 2020, 2021, they probably had to do 15 cold door knocks to try and get in the door just to have a licensor hear them out. And I feel like licensors are probably calling them now saying, oh, hey, remember how we, faded you back then? Okay, well, we want to be on TV now. And, it wouldn't surprise me if TV's even having to turn some people down. I mean, people already complain about the fact that TV is the Disney app and the quantity of drops that take place. I've always expected, and Alex G said it kind of when he first started, is, there might be a time where we have 50, 60 drops a week on TV, right? And I truly do believe by that point that we'll have the user bases to sustain this because of integrations like Phygital or, AI or whatever it is. And I'm here for it. And I've never felt so fortunate to be kind of at the ground floor and so early to something and be able to watch this be built up. I think about how, the people that have been here. I think about Puddin' Cheeks as an example, Adam, who's, been in the project since, 2 years before they even had an app. And imagine having that conviction where someone's just telling you, oh, hey, we're going to build this thing that's going to do some stuff and it's going to change the world.
Digital stores would be great.
And you're here for that. And so, I was here when, we didn't have a drop, more than once every 2 weeks. I was here when we didn't have a marketplace for a month and, before Disney, before Marvel. And the next generation is going to say, well, I was here before Phygital. And then the next person will be able to say, I was here before Veve was the official partner of the Olympics or, something crazy, right? So it's just going to be really cool to see, all the people that have come before and all the people that are yet to have come.
Veve, when float in the Macy's Day Parade?
There's, 30,000 active monthly users and there's 8 billion people in the world. There's a lot of people that need to find out about what Veve offers. And the great thing about what Veve is that a lot of those people are going to be a fan of something that's already on Veve, or if it's not already on Veve, it's probably going to be at some point. And so that's what gets me excited.
Foster, I agree with you on this one. So, my thoughts on this would be, number one, if you look at the future, NFTs, crypto are just like the entry points, early applications, easy applications of the blockchain. When you sort of look, blockchain is here to stay. It gives you that ability to, create proof of ownership, with specific or differentiated identity. There's so many aspects of blockchain, right? And in my humble opinion, that blockchain technology is going to grow very rapidly. So, eCall.me, the roots of Veve are blockchain, right? And yeah, they did the tokens, yeah, they did NFTs, but in my humble opinion, when you think about sports, sports is huge in the US. Music and entertainment and concerts are huge in the US. events are huge in the US. The single biggest challenge that a lot of them face is with tickets. And there's too many middlemen in tickets. There's too many middlemen in tickets, and it's a disaster. And there's no connectivity. Buy a ticket for a game, and then you're done. If think about like a Taylor Swift concert or any other concert, where an artist or a company has the ability to create a ticket on the blockchain and create utility for it, where you're able to they're able to communicate with you before the event, during the event, after the event. They're able to give you gifts. They're able to figure out how they can entice you. If it's on the blockchain, usually it's public, so it's great for them to see what else you're doing. In my humble opinion, that aspect of it, sports.
Taylor Swift should get into NFTs.
Especially, and ticketing is the easiest thing. And if any marketing company division hasn't figured out what the value of blockchain is to them,
what up, C-Spill? My man.
they're going to figure it out. Because there are very smart people that are building new things in the space. There are already people who do it, right? But Veve, with its reach, will be a winner in that space. With the amount of IP that they have, with the partnerships, with the relationships, even the size of the community today is small. But they're going to figure this out in the next 2-3 years. And that technology is going to become huge, in my humble opinion. Now, it's possible that Veve doesn't, get successful and somebody else beats them or whatever. I mean, there are all these possibilities, right? But that technology is very important, and Veve set itself up for a lot of success in that space with that sort of, thing. And, I think the next aspect of it is we are going to be in an incredibly immersive. Today, social media for us is two-dimensional. It's us staring at a screen, looking at faces on a screen, and chatting with people on a screen or using voice on a screen. The future of social media social media is so huge. Social media is going to be immersive. We're going to be inside social media. We're going to get these.
Kind of already are.
The hardware is behind right now, but the hardware's coming. You're going to have glasses. You're going to have, like helmet shades. You're going to have those kinds of things. There's going to be all kinds of, adaptations of hardware that are going to enable us to have a Oculus-like VR, AR, mixed reality experience without getting a headache, without all those things. And it's social media. And we're going to basically, if we look to the left,
205 right now.
You're going to see, people in social media to your left and to your right when you want to. And you can shut them out when you want to. You'll be able to share content. You'll be able to, wear, your avatars will have digital clothing. I mean, NFTs, everything, all those things kind of become like natural, pieces. To me, I think, Veveverse is well positioned to fit into that environment as soon as the hardware's, becomes kind of more mainstream and ready. Apple's working on it. Microsoft is working on it. Meta is working on it. Those are the 3 largest tech companies, and they rule. Man, they rule. If you think that they're not going to rule social media with immersiveness in the next 10, 15 years, they may have a few missteps. It may take a little while for hardware to catch up, for all of the 6G, 7G, 8G, whatever it is to come fall in place, and satellite, internet and all that other stuff, broadband and all that stuff. It might take a little while to get those things going, but it's there. When I look at the mobile phones and how they were in 1995, 97, and where they are today, that evolution is going to happen with headsets and with immersiveness. And Veve is so well positioned in that space. So NFTs will have new value, new purpose, in that world. Not only that, but all the other merch with it, digital merch, all the clothing, the accessories, those back signals. Like, to me, those things kind of become, valuable in that space. And then when you think about, a company like Veve, they've got another part to it, the OMI token. Today, the OMI token got very limited use to it, right? It's just sitting out there. It's kind of, if you have 10 million, you get something. But when you're in a digital world and you're on a blockchain,
Oh, you have no
and there's a
idea.
token that kind of you can use on it.
Oh,
To me,
he
that's
doesn't know
when
what's
there's
coming.
utility. So OMI, I think from my perspective, the OMI kind of value is still quite far out. A lot of other pieces
Oh,
have
no.
to fall in place.
It's close.
Blockchain has to become.
This is Mr.
used for
MC1,
more
but it's
things.
Wendy's space.
The immersiveness has to happen.
We're just talking
The digital
about
assets have to come in.
Comic-Con,
And
future
eventually
Veve,
it will,
OMI,
so
all that.
Wendy, I'm very excited. I'm super happy to be in this space. I just so you guys know, I'm a mentor at Harvard's Innovation Lab. Harvard has an innovation lab where they,
Impressive.
80 different the brightest students at Harvard who have started ideas or companies, they get mentors, and I am a mentor to two of them. And interestingly, one is in AI, one is just sort of, using tech for benefits. There's a third company that I did not mentor. Literally, they don't award three. This third company wrote to me and said, listen, Sanjay, we want to connect with you. We would like for you to be an advisor. And we would like to, give you a piece of a company to help navigate how we can do
that's hard.
digital merchandise in a gaming environment. And, I can't disclose all more, but, they've got some idea. So, there are a lot of young people, very bright people who are looking to solve this problem. And Veve is so far ahead.
Too much.
Can you imagine?
Too
If
much.
your Ready Player Me avatar gets a Spidey black suit Spidey,
Black suit Spidey.
what do you think the value of that shit's going to be? when 25 million people are on freaking Meta with their on Apple with their lenses, and they have an avatar that's wearing some raggedy ass jeans and some piece of shit that they show up in their fucking pants and shirt and shorts and whatever, and you show up in a black suit Spidey. Anyway, let me pause there, man. So I'm excited, but I have a
Wendy has her hand up. Wendy, you host the thing.
Have you guys seen the AIs that are like now girlfriends, and that they make like a personality based on someone, and they just have like this AI girlfriend? This is interesting because there was one chapter in, I think it's Black Mirror, where pretty much you buy like
Who's requesting to come up?
like your artist or your favorite celebrity, and it's an AI, and you pretty much have like this kind of brand celebrity.
I don't know who this is.
An avatar with the personality of your celebrity.
Artist, coder, traveler, okay. He's followed by...
How things can change, because maybe one day all the NFTs, maybe the NFTs from Veve, from Virtual, from Hero, like the Bad Couch, each one of them, what about if one day the AI allows to have a personality of your NFT, and that it can become like a kind of friend in the metaverse, which is interesting to see the possibilities with the AI.
Oh.
Hi, Richard. How are you? And welcome also, Austin. It has been a long time. How are you guys?
Hey, can you hear me?
Austin Shamma.
Yes.
Oh, hey, Wendy. Hey, MC1, Randy. Is it Wendy? When
Wendy's
Meow.
Foster and everyone else. I have a question about New York Comic Con.
Nice.
And it's my question and what I wonder is, were there other companies this year that had a booth that had a product that was blockchain? There was Veve that represented, obviously. I know Cryptoids had a presence, but are there more vendors or more companies?
Hero had a booth. Some girl, Brittany, she was on there, and obviously the Hero team. So they were there, and I think VFriends might have had something as well.
And Hero as well.
I said Hero.
Was there any new ones? Because I think Hero was, I'm assuming, I don't know. They were there last year.
Oh yeah, they were there last year.
Yeah, I was just curious if like more new companies were doing this, getting into this space.
Not from what I saw at Comic-Con personally. Just the ones that have already been named.
Cool. Thanks.
But I saw Elmont that it has the Mona Lisa, that is also Web3 and Euro. Those are the ones that are both highest.
Hey, Wendy. So my question, you brought up AI, and I can kind of see that interesting, but also very, very dangerous at the same time.
Very dangerous.
I think we're going in a direction where we're having less and less human interaction. And I think that's a dangerous path. I'm not trying to be negative here, but I think we just got to focus on bringing people together. Like going to Comic-Con, when I went, I met so many people and so many minded people, and then that was an amazing experience. So my point is, at the end of the day, we should influence Veve, try to create applications or use cases to bring us together to utilize these NFTs in person, right? So I think that should be a good focus that we should try to push for it in some way. Don't get me wrong, yeah, the Federers is going to be here and that's going to happen, but I think we have to balance it out, right, in life. So I think it's an important thing that we should look into, how to keep bringing people together, maybe smaller events, or maybe that deals with specific NFTs. But I think that's something that we should look into.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I think mixed reality is going to play a big role. You talked about obviously that human interaction, which I think is really important. So I think you're going to see that where, especially with the Veve NFTs, you'll have your Apple, VR goggles. Well, maybe not VR, but the Meta glasses that partner with Ray-Ban or whatever, where you'll be able to go into someone's face, see their collectibles being displayed on the wall. So maybe you own, one art piece that Veve has sold, and you'll just be able to go into their space, and it'll be hanging on the wall, and you have, you're watching the Veve, you'll have access to that, right? So I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities like that. And I do think, as Sanjay has talked about kind of earlier in the program when it comes to the Veve Gold logo, I think that there will be communities formed and events that take place, based on ownership of the specific collectible, or even just passion. You don't even need to own it, but just passion behind a specific collectible, right? Like maybe for Star Wars Day, everyone that's got Luke is going to want to get together, or to any of their Star Wars collectibles. So I definitely think that you will see that, and I think the events that at least I've been to that have been Veve related at the cons the last 2 years are only getting bigger, and even more people are coming out to celebrate. So I think that you're going to continue to see that in-person element that you're referencing, and I don't think that will ever fully go away, or at least I'm with you. I hope that it doesn't, because if I'm sitting at home, looking for glasses the whole day, interacting with the world, I might lose my mind with it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what we get, Professor. Thanks.
All right, guys. So I think we have been here for an hour and a half. So I don't want to end the conversation, but I know that some of you have to go. And I just want to ask you some final thoughts about everything.
I'll stay live after this for a little bit.
How do you feel, etc. And again, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Again, I know it has been a long time. I feel a little bit better, so thank you, everyone, for joining. Big shout out to my friends from Binance Latam that they have been here listening to the Veve community, so that is very nice to hear.
Very nice of them.
And to see as well. So any final thoughts, Randy, Sanjay, Poster, before to wrap it up?
Yeah, is that, obviously nostalgia plays a powerful feel. And for those of you that were at New York Comic Con, let's say it was your first one, second, whatever, I want you to remember that feeling. I want you to remember how it felt. Whether you drink, don't drink, but just at the party with everyone, the energy in the room, as Comics Cripple said before, was electric. And that type of thing will happen more and more. And I just want people to remember those good feelings. Was Walt the most expensive?
And also to know new people.
It was, yeah.
Secret.
I think about just a year ago last week, I was sharing a double bed with Randy for 5 days, and this week I got my own bed for the whole time, and it's just, how the times change. It's no, I agree, Randy. That's
You've been replaced with Wet Wizard. Oh, I said you were replaced with Wet Wizard.
Oh, I think you said wait a second, and I was like holding with bated breath. I was like, is he sending me an invitation? What's happening here? Like, what?
You.
Sorry, and I just wanted to say the final thing I think for me is Sanjay really hit on blockchain technology. It's going to be really interesting to see how it develops. And I think about Veve has been putting out some Taylor Swift memes.
We'll get with sports.
I don't think that they necessarily have.
I don't know when.
Taylor Swift or anything, but I think about
Planet Profit.
The power of the blockchain.
Secret Rare Spider-Man was 400.
Allow artists and entertainers.
So it was more expensive.
When I think about how much music and movies and stuff, how they just get downloaded, right, and they get pirated and people steal them, and it's so hard to prove ownership, and you can just copy them and stuff. And I think that the blockchain is really going to provide a lot of really fantastic opportunities for artists like that. I mean, Taylor Swift pulled all of her music off of Spotify because she wasn't happy with the royalties and how things were working out, and the control over her music. So I think blockchain is really going to allow artists, businesses, and entities to control how their IP is used. Then I think that it's very obvious that Veve has gone out of their way to make sure that they're working with the licensors as best as possible to make sure that it's the place that they want to be to bring that IP. So I'm really excited to just watch the blockchain continue to grow, and as the technology grows and new innovation will come into the space. And like Sanjay said, some of the best and brightest minds from some of the best schools are working to create these innovations. So I'm excited to see what comes of it.
Yeah, man, it's amazing. Last year I didn't know anybody. New York Comic Con was just sort of my first event, and I didn't know the team, I didn't know anybody, and I just offered to host a party. Not even David or Dan, and that's when I got to meet them, invited them. And this year it's so interesting. I was like 3-4 days before Comic-Con, suddenly I got a WhatsApp message from a guy called David, and he's asking me all these questions about who's coming to the party, this, that, and the other. I'm pretty freaking sure this is like Rolex punking me, So then I check, I want to verify this damn thing. It's like a New Zealand freaking, phone number. So then I check the email, because I've only written to David like once every 3-4 months an email about something. So I checked my email, and the email he said, I think it's better to chat on WhatsApp. And this guy on WhatsApp was just like so excited. He was talking about this and that, and like who's coming and what's blah blah blah. And so it's just so interesting, right? Like last year I didn't know anybody. This year, the David Yu himself is on WhatsApp and chatting and asking me what he can do for the party, to help Veve Fab, and I said, like, I want Simone to come. Can you text him this? Can you do this, do that? It's amazing. And then in the party, Al Kahn looks at me and he says, I want to talk to you about something. I'm like, really? Like, I just want to say hello, man. You know what I mean? And then he called me for like almost 20-30 minutes, and he sat me down and he talked to me about different things. And he said, this is these ideas I have, and you could help me think through this. Just take a look, blah blah blah. I thought it was so amazing, man. And then I get a text message, and it's Al, and I'm like, is this Rolly? And it's like, no, it's Al Kahn.
That was so fun.
So, and Al and David and these guys, they took the time at the party to sit with people and talk to them. It's not like, just some VIP saying hi and walks away. Like, you go meet Brad Pitt somewhere outside, you just take a picture and walks away, right? These guys sit with you, they ask you, they get to know you, you get to know them, and you build a relationship with them. And that's what this New York Comic Con was. It's the second time round for many people. And a lot of, just seriously, man, this is an incredible community, incredible access to people with the team, with artists, and with amazing, like within our own community, we have artists and we have brilliant leaders. We have lots of CEOs, lots of lawyers, A lot of very smart people in this group, and that's the power of that's the magic that BB has created. That's the magic, and that magic, gets amplified every New York Comic Con. So it's so right. Whenever we come together, that magic gets amplified, the relationships get amplified, and it sets up for an even better next year. And we want to grow that, right? It's not intended to be a closed, locked-in group. So people are welcome. If anybody has any questions, thoughts, comments, just reach out to one of us, man. Seriously, if you have a problem in life, reach out to one of us. See the response you get. And the love. One thing we didn't talk about, Wendy, and I know you want to shut the space. One thing we didn't talk about is the love that's shared in this community.
Oh,
Do you know how many gifts each of us have received? How many gifts? Like, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. So many VV fam. Like, Jimbo is listening here. Jimbo and his wife brought 2 suitcases full of stuff, decon, with VV logos, and they gave it. I think they were like 90, 100. I remember how many. They're huge. Those things are heavy. And they brought the whole thing, and they gifted it. And this time, there are so many people. Foster custom made a collectible which had VV on the front and Omi on the back. It's beautiful. Well, the VV one is blue colors. The Omi one is red colors. It's mint numbers. Spectacular. VV Getsy gifted me one. It's beautiful. It took him 15 hours to machine and polish the VV logo in gold and silver. And he's given David a gold one. He's given Dan a silver one. And he gave me the one that's gold and silver. It's unbelievable, man. Like that kind of love, that kind of thoughtfulness. Casey asked so many people, what is your favorite character? And then she brought everybody comic, with their favorite character. And that is just, it's so sweet, man. It's so amazing. And there's so many people like that. There's so many people in this community that love this community. It's insane. So, I know we all want to buy collectibles and it's just whatever, blah, 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 things go up and down and there's like drama and shit like that. But when you look at the fabric of what BB is, and there are a couple of people who talk the open spaces. These are people who are bitter people. And there's a few of them. And they will, like even today, I blocked a bunch of people. There's one dude who was a very good friend of mine who I blocked. Because I gave him a lot of time. And I finally said, look, enough is enough. I will not put up with shit. I don't take shit in life. And you know what? They still opened a space today with something that said something Funko, some bad word. And it's like, dude, like when you have a child, when your baby was born and he shot himself, did you take fucking pictures of him and tell the world that your baby's an idiot and shot himself?
Sanjay, what are you going on about?
But this community is insanely, positive. It's brilliant. And it's growing. And I'm so grateful to be with all of these guys. Randy, I love you, man. Foster, love you. Wendy, love you. All these people here, man. Like, Jimbo, Veve, ODB. Look at the work these guys do. Look at Nino. There's Mazin. There's Dr. Stuff. There's
Dr. Stuff. Where is Dr. Stuff? He says he's here. I don't see him.
John just joined the Veve Cold Logo community. Welcome.
I don't see Dr. Stuff.
Let me pause there, but hopefully, you got that sense
hi, John.
of what this means to me.
Thank you, Sanjay, for those words. I think we appreciate that. And big shout out to Jimbo. He's also Mexican, so muy orgullosa de estar aquí. Ojalá hubiera estado, pero sorry, I had to say that in Spanish, my guys. All the time, my brain is gonna freeze. But I think I don't know if who am I missing, Randy or Foster?
I went.
I can't remember. I have bad memory.
I went. I'm good. Yeah.
Okay. So Foster, any final thoughts?
I'm just looking forward to the future. That's my final thoughts. I'll keep it short, simple, and sweet. I appreciate you hosting the space, Wendy, and for inviting me. I think it's awesome that people are willing to come hang out with us on a weeknight at well, I guess it depends where it is for you, but it's 11:15 for me. So I think it's awesome that people are willing to spend their night with us in a bear market when things aren't always going the most positively, and it just that's what it is. It's about surrounding yourself with good people and And yeah, I'm excited for the future. So thank you.
Hey, thank you, Wendy.
You're welcome, guys, and I want to finish these spaces with a quote. I hope that I read well. So it says, "The best way to overcome the darkness is to be the light." So remember to be light to others, and if you don't have to, if you don't have anything good to say, better not say nothing. That's what I think. So I hope that everyone is having a beautiful night. We are gonna end with these tunes. I hope that today it sounds good. Well, and if not, well, ni modo. Have a beautiful night, everyone.
Meow. Bye, guys. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow. Foster the non-YouTuber. We love. All right, I think I'm out. I think that's it. Just gonna play some music, but.
I have to play the Latino. Sorry.
All right, I'll give them that 100, and then amen, Wendy. Give them the hundreds. I don't hear any music, Wendy.
Bye, everyone. Take care.
Okay, all right, there we go. I'm out. So yeah, that was the space. That was thank you to Wendy for putting that on. Yeah, this is gonna be a good couple years. You know, I think we'll keep trugging along for the next 2 months, maybe 3. But we'll go up, slow but steady. So, you know, we don't have, like, if you're worried, like, oh, I need more Omi right now, I think you still have a couple months, 60 days, I would say at least. An idea on when Veve in Australia. Yeah, did you just change your profile picture? You have Candace Bevan and then a C. Okay, gotcha. I would say, I know they want to do one. There's a big Australian whale that David's friends with. I would say give it probably 2025. They are focusing on Asia first. So we'll do Asia, you know, that'll be next year. Next year's the year of the Asians. And, you know, we'll get that done. And then I think Australia 2025. But honestly, when Omi's 1 or 2 cents next year, I'll go there myself. That's fine. I'm chill. I'm chill with it. I'm pretty all right. Anywho, it sounds like that'll be it for me. Everyone please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Everyone say bye-bye, Dashy. Bye-bye, Dashy. And thank you guys for the super chats. Those mean the world. I love you guys. Goodbye. Meow, meow. Meow, meow, Randy.